Okay, so my name's Simon Foster. I'm a Master Neurolinguistic Programming Practitioner and a former Lib Dem counsellor from here in Bournemouth. Yeah, my dad was diagnosed with Parkinson's in his early 60s, like many males are who develop Parkinson's. And that started off with a resting tremor, but also looking back at that point, he was getting very depressed, although we didn't realise that was connected to the Parkinson's. My dad's one of the very lucky ones in that the Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford was able to give him an implant, a deep brain stimulator, or what you and I would call an electrode, and that's connected to a battery on his chest, all of which was provided by the NHS and cost in excess of £30,000. And now, brilliantly, he has this electrode, and to control his tremor, he certainly turns up the current on that, and the tremor now disappears completely, and he uses that battery, which has been life-changing in his experience. And that, with a combination of good antidepressant drugs, which took him a few years with a doctor to get the dosage right, but once they got on top of the depression, that's been absolutely life-changing for my father. And now he's 73. He's spent the last 10 years with Parkinson's. He works as a children's poet and author, and he's still now banging away, typing out more poetry and poetry books on a computer keyboard, and has the motor skills to do so, once again, thanks to the NHS. It's been a very varied picture, and I'd say that's the perception for Parkinson's across the country. Some people have been very understanding and have seen immediately what his needs are and how it's affected him. For example, these poetry performances, he doesn't do those standing up for as long as he used to. Other people haven't been as well educated on it as you would expect, and you mentioned to them that he's got Parkinson's, and suddenly they're, oh, you know, is he going to be okay? Can he cope with complex tasks? Do we need to treat him with kid gloves? And the fact of the matter is, mentally, my dad is still my dad. He's still the clever, excellent children's poet, which he's always been, and he just wants to be treated like any other ordinary human being. Yes, he has a serious medical condition, but that's managed, and once you realise that's managed, he just wants to be treated like any other ordinary member of society. I think the government on that proposal, some people would agree with the government, but the government clearly need to think again. Parkinson's is a serious medical condition and a degenerative medical disease which can be managed, but people aren't going to be suddenly recover from that. Yes, they can have surgery like my father's has. Yes, they can have antidepressants to control the depression, but people should realise Parkinson's is a complex disease which affects many different people in many different ways. And as a degenerative disease, over time, people are slowly and steadily, unfortunately, going to get worse, not better, and therefore the decision for the government to place those people in a category where they think they're going to recover, that isn't going to happen. That isn't backed up by medical science, and far from putting people in those groups, which is just causing stress and more anxiety, which Parkinson's patients suffer more from than the average population, they should simply say, no, nobody with Parkinson's should be put in that group, and they should be entitled to keep their money.
Simon, thank you so much. Obviously, we'll look to speak to your dad because it's him with the Parkinson's and with that first-hand experience. But hearing from you as a family member who we just happened to have bumped into here at Lib Dem Conference, so grateful to you. Thank you, Simon.
Absolute pleasure. Thanks very much for your time.